What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. It is your girl Nessiah, and I'm back with another video. As you can tell from the title, I am going to be doing a chit chat talk with you guys. Pretty much what I have learned from this past year, and basically what I'm going to be bringing into the new year as we just kind of level up as women. And yeah, if you are new, welcome. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If you are returning, thank you guys so much for staying down with me. And yeah, let's just get right into this video, guys. Alrighty, so when it comes to the whole thought process of a new year, you know, you come up with like new traditions, new this, new that, or whatever. But I want to look at it more so as new. If you look at it like, okay, you want to get back into the gym and stuff like that, oh, it's a new year, new me, things. No, scratch that. It is new season, new habits, and new lessons. Those are my top three like phrases when it comes to this new, coming into like a new season or whatever. I'm not saying I'm coming into a new year. I'm coming into a new season of my life where I'm gonna, you know, level up and everything like that, become a better individual, you know, learn new lessons. Like in this new year, you should not be taking your old lessons. You should not be relearning the lessons that you learned this past year. And that's with relationships, that's with businesses, that's with everything. And don't get me wrong, when it comes to businesses, I'm not saying just because you failed, you gotta pick up. No, pick back up and keep going. But this could just revolve. Like if you learned that this situation didn't work, figure out another situation to make it work, you know, type thing, or vice versa. So yeah, so this is pretty much becoming and stepping into my womanhood, and what tips and tricks that I've learned and what has changed in my life that I'm going to continue to carry on into this new season. And I'm just gonna read them off to you kind of, and I'm gonna talk about them, okay? Alrighty guys, so the first thing that I've learned thus far this year, from this past year, and that I definitely will be taking with me into the next year would be, it kind of has to deal with relationships, but more so just, this can apply to like really anything. Shout out to my girl that I am working with on my most recent contract. Her name is Sharonda. I don't know if she wants me to shout her out or not, but Sharonda, she taught me that not everything deserves a reaction, and that's including with your man, with your woman. This can kind of like literally go with for anything. And yes, there's a way that you can react without actually reacting. Sometimes you can give not so much the silent treatment, but just more so, you know, they can tell in your actions that like, yo, like I don't approve of that, or, you know, this and this and that. But we don't have to go off like, oh, da 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 da, you da 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 da. We don't need to do that. As we're, you know, getting into womanhood and things like that, you know, men don't always want a catty woman. Men don't really want somebody that's gonna always be at their neck about something. They want a woman that's gonna be nurturing. They want a woman that's going to be, you know, full of love and trust and everything like that. You know, I'm not saying to dim down your light, and I am saying sometimes you need to react to certain things, but just again, not everything needs to be reacted upon. You know, you don't, you may not like something that he does, like say if it's a yacht, like a party or chill out, cool out, or whatever, kick back. Oh Lord, I feel old. A kickback or something of that nature. And you know, maybe he might have hugged somebody that he may know, but it wasn't the type of hug that you would expect your man to be doing or your woman to be doing. You just kind of like, you don't have to be like, what the you don't need to do all that. You could just simply just, when y'all get home, be like, look, or pull him to the side, you know, at a more downer time, and put him in his place and be like, yo, like, I don't like when you did that. Like, that made me feel like as if I was nobody. Like, if you're gonna be my man, there's certain things that need to be, you know, that needs to happen or take place, or, you know, certain things that you should just not be doing if you're in a relationship with me. A woman does not scream. A woman does not raise her voice. A woman is gentle. She is slow to anger. If you're a Christian woman like me, I don't know how to explain this, but that's not ladylike, and it's not a woman of God to sit here and raise your voice, to sit here and always be angry, always getting mad, not only at your man, not only at your friends, but like everything. Every situation does not need a reaction. Never, all actions need a reaction as well. You have to be slow to anger, and something that you can do in order to implement that and start practicing that, you know, practice makes perfect, would be to pray about it. Me personally, I would just sit down and be like, God, teach me how to become not only a woman of God, not only a Proverbs 31 woman, but also teach me how to be slow to anger. Give me the characteristics of a woman of God. Give me the characteristics of a woman that is slow to anger. Teach me how to be slow to anger. You know, I'm struggling here. So things like that, in order to kind of just do that, because, you know, we're leveling up, we're becoming women, we are trying to become high valued women, and women that men actually want to be with. So yeah. So my second tip, I would really hate for this to be like all of our relationships, and I'm trying my hardest not to, but when it comes to a lot of things that I've learned this year, it has been really trying in my relationship. Not to put myself out there or anything like that, like we're good, you know, but there's certain things that I learn and I'm still learning when I am in this relationship, and I feel like that it definitely applies to my overall womanhood. So again, we already went over like the whole, like, not every reaction needs a reaction, or action needs a reaction. And this tip would be more so to not lose yourself in that relationship that you may be in. So to piggyback, pretty much what I'm trying to say is, a lot of us kind of just jump ship, go ballistic, and kind of act crazy when it comes to situations. Like, you're in a relationship and your man does something that you don't like, you don't need to scream at him. He's not a kid, he is a grown man. Even if he acts like a kid, you don't treat him like one, because you're a woman and you know how to speak to an individual, you know. There's no reason for that, and that is something, like, I'm sitting here humbly telling you guys based off of what I've learned, because I was there, you guys. I was the type to be like, you know, you just don't want to just come off like somebody that's always, you want him to be able to trust you. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, you want him or anybody to be able to trust you, or even vice versa, if I'm talking to a man. You want that individual, that partner, to trust you. Trust that no matter what they come to tell you, that you're gonna come to them and be like, okay, well, I am very upset, and it's okay to take a minute to yourself, you know. But it's not what the like there's no need for that, you know. So that is my number one pretty much tip going into the new year, and what I've pretty much learned from this past year. I want to go into this with good vibes. Next tip is going to be so basically, I want to speak about, we already talked about like kind of attitudes and how to act and things like that. I want to kind of go into like somewhat hygiene, somewhat, you know, a little bit of something, stuff that I've learned, you know. This is something that you probably many of you may say like, you probably should have known this, or vice versa, or however much, but I've learned it, okay. As a high value woman, as you know, tips and tricks to go into, like, you know, coming into the new season or whatever, things that I want to do to just make myself feel more like a high class, high value woman. It's a bunch of different things, but to kind of sum it up is your overall presence is what people kind of go off of. When it comes to my presence and how I want to present myself as a high value woman, just things is to kind of pretty much be on top of everything, you know, making sure my hair is pretty much done 99.99% of the time. Also, like, you know, skincare, health and everything like that, like keeping up with that, making sure I'm lotioning my feet, hands and everything like that. Things that you probably should already know, but I'm just gonna drop it there just in case you are just now finding out, you know. Yeah, things like that. Pretty much how you look even inside of your home. I'm not telling you that you should be doing anything more than what, you know, anything, but if you would like to take these tips this is it here. To me, I would say to change, my sister actually taught me this, and honestly, I've always seen my dad do this. So when you go to sleep, I would wake up and I would keep on the same clothes. If I'm chilling around the house, why do I need to put new clothes on? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, why do I have to change out of my night clothes? But it's more of a mental thing. It's more of a mindset thing. Like, even though I didn't rewear those clothes the next night, I would just throw them away and get new night clothes, you know? But you would want to change out of your night clothes. And honestly, another tip would be to pretty much have night clothes and then chill clothes, you know, to kind of separate it and keep yourself structured, you know? So when you wake up, you get yourself ready and things like that, and then you change into your lay around the house type clothes, or play clothes or something of that nature. I would always see my dad change out of his night clothes, and I'm like, why is he wasting clothes like that? I never really thought about it until my sister made it present to me. It's like, you know, it makes you more productive. Like, it's like, okay, change my clothes, getting up, productive, you know. It's a different feeling, and also kind of change the perspective of your man or whoever, maybe your partner that you're staying with. It gives another perspective of, oh, okay, so you know, it's just something different, you know. Some things we gotta leave 2021. Definitely the bonnets, you guys, throw those out. I'm not saying, okay, you can sleep in them, okay, hear me out, but you should not be passing through your front door with it. You should not go get mail in it. You should not be going anywhere with it. You know what I'm trying to say? That's not something, that's not high value, that's not high class, that's not cute at all. So no bonnets. Don't get me wrong, those flurry, fluffy shoes, I'll put them here. They're cute, but we're not doing that no more. Okay, that's gonna be left into 2021. 2022, we're going into, again, high fashion, high class type vibes, okay? And just kind of stick with that, because we're not going back into that at all. Another thing, when it comes to your clothes and stuff like that, you want to make sure you're always presentable. No holes, no, you know, bleach spots. No, we're not running. Just, you know, run to the store in something cute. Because if you were to see Rihanna or your next husband, you know what I'm trying to say, at the grocery store, your first visual being you with bleach spots or with holes in your pants, or it just is it looks run down, it looks raggedy, you know. Look to get some new items, look to get some, you know, it doesn't have to be expensive. It's just, you know, those same pair of tights that you like to wear, it's fine. Get new ones, you know. I'm trying to say, throw out old ones, anything that's dingy, you know, all of that. So also something that I've learned, kind of throwing that in there when it comes to hygiene and all that, would be I think it was my boyfriend's mother's friend. He mentioned that his sisters or his mother would, after 6 months, they would throw their underwear or undergarments out. I don't know if he mentioned the bra in itself, but the underwear. I know usually most people, you know, throw them out every single year and get new ones, but he mentioned it's supposed to be every 6 months. And when you think about it, it's like, that's somewhat true. Like, you know, if you can't afford it, then, you know, at least if you do it every year, that's fine. But look to doing that coming up in this new year. Look to getting new undergarments, fresh underwear, fresh cotton underwear for our overall vagina health. And even for males, you know, look to getting new underwear, upgrade, bringing new into the life, bringing new into the season. When you feel new, just like when you get your hair done, you're like, oh, I feel like a new individual. Yes, when you get new items, you feel, oh, I feel good. That's something that we're trying to implement, like new feelings, new this, new that. You go into a new home, you feel, oh, I feel better, I feel different, I feel, you know. So that's what we're trying to get from this vibe. Changing out your underwear, maybe buying new clothes, and everything like that. So yeah, that's that too. So to kind of piggyback off of the conversation we were having earlier, about like the relationships and stuff like that, we're not bringing toxic habits into 2022. Leave that into 2021. Like, that's not coming with us at all. There's no time for it. We have no energy for it. We don't deserve it. Nothing. even if you're a male, this applies to you too. This applies to everybody. If you're with somebody that is causing you havoc in your life, get rid of them. I know it's kind of cliche to say, but that is literally, like, in order for you to level up mentally, you have to level emotionally, physically, and everything around you. So even if that's that friend or coworker or family member, get rid of them. If they're causing you havoc, get rid of them. You know, like, distance yourself from it. Like, you don't have to be around that. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, so that is a plan. Getting rid of toxic relationships, toxic family members, it just leveling up mentally and emotionally, bettering yourself, you know? That's really important. And that kind of applies to, like, you should not be learning new lessons. If you know all this throughout this year, past 5 years, he's been acting this type of way, sis or sir, she or he is not gonna get better. They're not going to change. If, like, I'm literally learning this, they're not going to change. And that applies to even getting married. You can't expect somebody to propose to you or want to marry you, and then but they have these habits that you don't like. You need to make a mental note, hey, this is how he is going into this marriage. Obviously people grow, but 99.99% of the time, that's exactly how they're going to be acting the next however long that you guys are going to be with them. Another thing or tip that I've learned this year and that I'm trying to bring into the next year, I'm not going to say that I learned it, but I know, and that I'm trying to make sure that I'm actually implementing into 2022, would be the fact that laziness. I struggle so bad with laziness. Like, it gets me. I don't feel like cooking, but I got food, so I'm gonna go out to eat. No ma'am, we're not doing that, okay? Don't get me wrong, busy people have busy lives, but that, to me, that now starts to become wasteful. Like, I spent $200 in groceries, now I wanna go get a $50 meal or $20 meal. Like, that's just extra, you know? We're not doing that 2022, we're not. So coming out of the laziness, I don't know what you may struggle with when it comes to laziness, but that is something definitely big. And just being more efficient, you know what I'm trying to say? To piggyback off of what I just said when it comes to spending and everything like that, we as a high value woman or man, we have our together. Like, we literally have it together. We're supposed to have it together. You know what I'm trying to say? Not knowing everything, I'm not saying that, but just having those little things, the necessities in life. That includes your credit score, that includes your finances, that includes all of that. Having something of your own, something tangible of your own. You get what I'm trying to say? It's not okay to piggyback off of somebody. I don't feel like that is okay. I really don't. But again, you know, certain circumstances do apply. You know, like stay-at-home moms, obviously, like, duh, like, the man is bringing the money, she watching the kid, that makes sense. But if you're an individual like me, I don't have no kids, I don't have, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, there's no reason as to why I should be piggybacking. You know, I'm not saying that, you know, people in the, you know, like dating rappers and things like that, if you're dating somebody that just financially has it, he doesn't want you working, that's understandable. I feel like, yeah, girl, do what you want to do, but still, you still need a hobby, you still need things outside of the relationship to make you, you know, different. Because he can pick up any girl, you know, or she can pick up any man that has money. You get what I'm trying to say? So you have to have more to offer in that relationship, or just more to offer with yourself, you know? And when it comes to specifically speaking about unhealthy relationships with like money and stuff like that, I kind of mean like, you got bills, but yet you want to spend $300 something on a game, or $300 something on shoes or sneakers, but yet your bills aren't paid. That's not okay. That's not a high valued man. That's not a high valued woman. Like, if you can't afford it, make your money up until you can afford it tenfold. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, we're not gonna sit over here and try to keep up with the Joneses. If you financially can't do it, don't do it. Because in the end, the money that you saving, or that you will be saving to go towards that new house that you want, or vice versa, or however much, you want to be able to have plentiful, and then go and buy the things that you want. You know what I'm trying to say? That's not happening. Like toxic relationships with finances and unhealthy relationship with the money and things like that, that's not what we're doing in 2022. So keep that in 2021. Alrighty guys, so my next tip is going to be something that, you know, I really hold dear to me, and that definitely has to do with God. If you're not a believer of God, or you don't believe in that, or you have somebody else that you may worship, then that's you. But this is for people, I'm speaking specifically to people who love God and have God in their heart, or more so say like a Christian, or whatever. Me personally, my overall tip is going into 2022. I mean, obviously I already knew God, I know God, and I still was worshiping and praying to God and things like that in 2021, but I want more from God. Like, oh, I hope I don't start crying, Lord Jesus. Ooh. I want more from God. I want to be able to speak to him. I want him to speak to me. I want to be able to actually, because you have spiritual aunts and people to talk to, maybe your pastor and things like that. I don't want that go-between. I want that direct connection with God. I can sit here and be like, God, I don't know what's going on, but I need your help. I know how to pray that, but I'm not saying that God doesn't speak to me, but I just want more of a stronger relationship. I want that overflow of his spirit, within me. So that's something that I definitely am going to go 10 times hard in 2022. Even starting now, even starting yesterday, even starting, I'm trying to say I already have started this process, but that's something that to me, I have been wanting, like I want, personally, God has saved me. God has protected me. God is my Lord and Savior Christ. Like, he is the reason. Like, he is the reason as to who I am today. And I just would love, if you may not believe in God, I would love for you to step out on faith and maybe do your research, maybe reach out and, try it. I'm trying to say? Like, you will not regret it. I'm trying to say? I really trust and believe that you will enjoy his presence. You will enjoy his overall everything that he has to offer for you. So I'm here to say, yes, get your relationship with God together. No more fake stuff. No more, oh yeah, I believe in God, but yet you over here cussing and going on. Oh, I believe in God and I pray to God, but yet you over here sleeping around. Nobody's perfect, and I'm definitely not judging anybody. That's not what I'm doing in this video. But what I'm saying is, we gotta do better. We gotta get right. We gotta, yes. So that's it. So my next tip, obviously everything thus far has been going off of what I've said before, but this next tip would be what I've literally learned from this previous year and going into my next year, something that I am going to be doing. There's no thought about it, like, literally, like, it works. And the tip is to use your mouth. Literally, like, use your mouth. More so, speak what you want to happen. You speak over your life, speak over your presence, speak over your homes, businesses, anything that you can do. Speak over it. Speak positivity over it. I was watching a TD Jakes sermon one time, and he spoke about, obviously I already knew you have the power of life and death in your tongue. And you have the power to manifest. Pretty much, I don't want to say manifest, because a lot of it kind of gets touchy when you start to, Christianity and manifestation and stuff like that. But when I say manifest, I say for things to, happen. When you decree and declare, it's the action of manifesting it. You know what I'm trying to say? So, to be more clear, you have the power of life and death in your tongue. So whatever you want from life, you should be speaking it. You need to be speaking over your children, your generations to come, your finances, your man, your husband, friends, family, the people in your circle, I don't know if I said businesses, but that, you know what I'm trying to say, your job, for better, you know what I'm trying to say? It's using your mouth to speak. And so when I was talking about the whole TD Jakes thing, he spoke about manifestation, or speaking things into existence and watching what you say. If you have the power of life and death in your tongue, you have the power of life and you have the power of death. And to me, when you speak life into something, it grows. Whereas if you speak death into something or speak death over something, it dies. And an example that he or pretty much said is when you curse at somebody, not physically or it is physical, but not literally saying, you know, the cuss words, but just saying, oh, you're just like your mother. You're just like your father. You're just like this. You are this and that. You are cursing that individual because yes, you are using your mouth to speak over that individual and that individual's life. So ladies, we are big on that. I mean, I'm not gonna speak specifically say me because I don't really do that, but in general, if you are doing that, that's not okay. If you're with somebody, he's trusting you with your life or she's trusting you with your life, and you basically, by you saying, oh, you're just like your mother, those characteristics of that his mother is going to be literally on him because you're speaking over him. If you don't like the way he is acting or things like that, you just simply tell that individual, look, I don't like the way you're acting, I don't like this, let's try it this way, you know. And if it's just not going to work, it's just not going to work. If he's not going to do it, he's not going to do it. You know what I'm trying to say? Because again, he or she, and individuals will do what they want to do at the end of the day, and if they want to do it for you, they will do it. But if they're not doing it, that means they're really just not going to do it, or maybe they may not be aware, you know, if that's something that you would like them to do. But yeah, so that's what we need to be stopping in 2022, stopping it now. Like, as I am speaking to you, you should be seeing and listening and saying, okay, that's not something that I'm going to be doing from this point forward. I'm not going to speak curses over anybody. I'm not going to be speaking, you know, bad things, you know, because again, we have the power of life and death in our tongue. So whatever you feel like you can speak on and speak life into, do it, especially for your children and your husband. That's our job, you know, as a wife or even as a husband. That's your job to speak over your family. That's your job to speak over your man. Like, my man is successful, my wife is successful, they're beautiful, they're full of life, they're healthy, they have good health. Like, that is our job. So pretty much doing that and implementing that into your life, I think that's something that I'm definitely taking into 2022, and just doing more often, you know. So again, overall, you know, we've talked about relationships, we talked about getting toxic things out of our life, detoxing, and getting rid of the bad things and implementing new and better things into this new season. Because again, we're going to be learning new lessons and leveling up, bettering our finances and everything like that. And most importantly, getting connected to God and having a real relationship with him, real genuine relationship with him. And people, whether you may see it or not, people may or may not look up to you. So setting good examples for other individuals. And yeah, and most importantly, to speak over yourself and speak over your life. You get what I'm trying to say? Because I 100% can say this past year has turned around as soon as I started speaking things over my life, writing things down. Another tip that you can probably take with you is to create a manifestation log. For people, there's two different ways that you can look at it. If you're a Christian like me, it's pretty much the Habakkuk 2. If you read that, it talks about speaking things out loud, speaking things over your life. Write it down, make it plain and everything like that, and or making a manifestation log. I speak over my life and my things that I have, and everything that I've spoken thus far, I can actually say God has done it for me. Like, it has came into manifestation. It has manifested itself after I spoke it. I spoke it out of my mouth. I had the power of life and death in my tongue, and I spoke it. Me coming to Atlanta, I spoke it. Me having the apartment that I have, I spoke it. Me having the opportunities, me doing this, I've spoken it out of my mouth. The business adventures that I'm starting, that I spoke about even before I even left to go to Dallas, you know what I'm trying to say, this past year, has manifested. It's here. I spoke I was making 3 times more than what I'm making when I was making $12 an hour. I'm making quadruple. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, I manifested that. Or no, I don't want to come off like I did it, but I spoke that and God has manifested it for me. So I'm here to tell you guys, speak it. And another thing I want to kind of touch on is when it comes to speaking things and stuff like that, and decreeing and declaring and things like that over your life, ultimately God has the final say. And don't get upset or don't feel some type of way if it doesn't happen the way that you want it to. You have to realize that, again, God is in total full control. And you have the power of life and death in your tongue. But if it doesn't work the way that you want it to work, it's because God has done it because of the way He wants it to be. So if you're over here saying, oh, I want to manifest this man and da-da-da, yeah, that's good, and do that. But keep in mind, God has what He already has for you. And don't take your feelings out of, what I'm trying to say? Like, yes, you can dream how you want to dream, but if it doesn't happen the way that you want it, just know that God has better for you. Another thing that I kind of want to speak about is pretty much having faith. Yes, have faith in God, but when it comes to the worldly things, individuals on this earth, I've learned, I give everybody the benefit of the doubt. However, low expectations, no disappointments at all. You can't expect somebody to do something the way that you want it because they think they have a creative mind of their own. So when they do something, it's because of the way they're thinking. Unless you specifically tell them a certain way that's supposed to be done, you can't get upset when it doesn't come out the way that you want, especially if you didn't already explain it to them. So that just kind of goes for any and everything. Low expectations, no disappointments. I can't expect you to be something, and just say, like, you can't expect the man to do what you want. He's just simply not your man, or he's just simply not somebody you're supposed to be with. You can't, just say that. Stop getting upset with somebody else, because of what they're doing. Ultimately your happiness should reside within, and if they're not doing something that you want, drop them, leave them, go next. It's easier said than done, yes, but you should have the faith in yourself to know, and faith in yourself and faith in God to know that He has your back no matter what. Alrighty, so the last, it's not really like a tip, but what I'm going to be doing in this new year. So normally me and my family always, first of the month, that whole month, or maybe a couple of days throughout that month, we will be doing like a Daniel's fast, or the Daniel's fast. It speaks about it in the Bible and things like that. And that's basically where we would, give up certain things unto God so that we are able to be more clear-headed and having that mental cleanse, to be able to hear and, get closer with God. So I definitely still plan on doing that. However, going into the new, in general, going into 2022, I want to be vegan, and I really hope that I'm able to achieve that. Can definitely be hard, especially like when you're with somebody that definitely has nothing to do with being vegan, like they eat that other stuff. So I know it will be a little bit harder, but I definitely plan on juicing. I definitely plan on, just having more of a healthier diet, lifestyle. I'm definitely not saying that I'm going to be perfect. And I'm not saying that I am going to be vegan. I don't know what I'm doing 100%. But just know, I think, if you would like to take this, maybe try pescatarian, maybe try dropping some of those things. Our bodies are not made to be eating meat. I'm not even going to go deep into this combo. Okay, but basically overall, our bodies are not made to be eating meat, dairy, and all that. That's not for us, but what I'm saying is we should be having a more better lifestyle. So implementing more fruits and obviously vegetables and stuff like that, and getting our health together. There's no reason for us to be dealing with what we are dealing with. Half of this stuff and half of these diseases are, to me, don't judge. Whatever your opinion is, your opinion. But I don't want to hear it in the comments, because I will block and delete. Okay? I believe and I know that there's a cure for everything. Okay? And we should not be sitting over here deteriorating our bodies, like, when we have the chance to make it better, and that is including, herbs into your life. Just do your research. That's all I'm going to tell you guys, is to do your research on herbalists, on herbs, Dr. Sebi, Yaki Awakened. Shout out to him and them. And look them up and just do your research on them. I'm gonna just drop that in there because I definitely want to implement more herbs into my life and just a better overall lifestyle, healthier lifestyle. Alrighty guys, so overall that is it for this video. I really hope that you guys got something from this video. I really hope that you guys will be doing better in 2022. I really want all of us to elevate and become better individuals, you know, so that we can all be on that same, you know, level. But without further ado, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And also comment down below and tell me things that you may have learned this year. I really want to hear from you guys. I really want to, and I'm pretty sure any and everybody else wants to hear your lessons that you've learned this year. It could definitely help everybody. I want the comment section to be full of things that you've learned, and everybody have to learn, and lessons that any and everybody can learn, even though they've never actually been through it. So definitely let this be an open room for everybody to just kind of get their input in and things like that. But overall, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, bye.